We're here today to talk to you about our top 10 small box games.
Let's get right into it. I'm going to start the list. So number 10, Railroad Inc. Roll and Write.
Interesting.
Yes, I love that this game comes with the dry erase boards. It's a different game every time. There's a couple of expansions in the box, and it's just an interesting, fun, tactical, quick playing game. And I think it definitely fits the small box aesthetic. Okay.
We have created our list in secret.
Yes,
so
these are secret lists.
He doesn't actually know what is on mine.
I'll automatically disagree with whatever this is next.
So I went with agility as my number 10. If you guys have watched any of our videos, you know I do like a good theme. I am a huge fan of this game. I love the fact that it's about dogs. You're adopting dogs. It's set collection. You have a bit of a rondelle that changes every game. So for me, there's just a lot of variety in this box with a really cute theme.
It's a good game. People poo-poo on the artwork, but the gameplay itself is really good. You get no arguments from me. I know, she's not used to that.
And this is being recorded.
Yes, exactly. My number 9, Sunset Over Water. You didn't think I was going to make it, did you?
I wasn't sure.
I like this game. I've rage quit this game, by the way. But it doesn't have to be mean. So you have an explorer or a hiker, and you're going around and you're painting photos of landscapes. But it has a really cool mechanism at the start where you are collecting your wake-up time. You each have basically an identical set of cards. Maybe they're a little different, but you are going to wake up at a certain time, and that lets you move, and you can only move in certain directions. And you pick up paintings along the way. And it's quick, it's easy setup, low rule overhead, enjoyable. Or not enjoyable if you take all my spaces.
And it has really cute artwork. So we'll see if that makes my list. But for now, that is not my number 9. My number 9 is Burgle Bros. If you are unfamiliar with this game, it is a cooperative game. So he can't rage quit because we win or lose together. And the really cool thing about this game is, it is, as I was flipping it around in circles, a small box, but a full box, as you can see. Really interesting part of this is you can change the variation of how you set it up every game. And there's just really neat mechanics about going onto different floors and overall, a lot of strategy in a tiny little box.
Game we recently just started playing, but Black Sonata is unlike anything we have. It's a solo game, but we've played this solo, and we've also played this as a co-op. You are going around London during Shakespearean times trying to find potentially one of his muses, the Black Lady. So in this game, you kind of had hidden information, and you're following around where the Black Lady might be going. You're trying to deduce clues and ultimately trying to figure out who she is. But very unique game. Tons of replayability in the box based on how they did the cards. And also it has something that I think we're both a sucker for. It had like an individual book that comes with some history and some backstory. So great game. Tiny box.
Absolutely. It is a very unique style of gameplay, at least for our collection. My number 8 is Biblios. Stephen actually just released a new Biblios called the Parchment and Quill. We haven't had an opportunity to play that yet, but this is the original one. And what I love about this game is that it's so simple to set up. It's literally dice, cards, and a player mat. But it's set collection with some manipulation of scoring using dice. And then on top of that, you have some hidden information because every time you draft some cards, you have to put one into a pool that you're going to bid on later. So you have an idea of 50% of what that pool is going to be, but you don't have all the information. So you're trying to collect your sets without knowing what's in there, especially if you're playing it as 2-player, because some cards have actually been taken out. So you really have no idea what you're collecting.
Yeah, and if you don't have the highest number, you might be collecting blue, for example, all game, but if she has more points in blue, I get nothing. So sometimes there's like this risk reward to it as well. That's cool. Great game.
Yeah, love this game.
My 7 has already been used, and it is agility.
Whoa!
Yeah, I really
I wasn't
like it.
sure if that was even making your list.
No, I really like agility. All the reasons she stated. It's just a great, fun, quick game. And it's just, maybe I'm a sucker for the theme on this one, but I'm just kind of happy when I play this. So, and I also like the dog bone meeples. They're pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is my number 7.
My number 7 is one that most people are probably familiar with. Cartographers, the roll or flip and write. I love this game because I get to get my artistic nerd on. I can't draw, but I can color a mean box. So my Crayola pencil crayons pop on out, and I color all of my maps. So as we're flipping, it probably takes us twice as long to play a game as other people.
Yep.
But I meticulously color in each of those boxes. So overall, I love the game.
Yeah.
Even though there's monsters, and inevitably he ruins my sheet, but I still love this game. So that is my number 7.
Great game. I wish there were a few more cards in it. I think that's my one thing, but they have put out a second version of it, but I just wish there was just a tiny bit more in the box itself. Another newer one for us, Curious Cargo. So this is a tile placement game where you're trying to ship goods out of a factory and receive them on the other side from the other player, and you're building your pipes to basically get the goods in and out. Very thinky, and I know some people online have said it's a little too much. Maybe they weren't expecting it to be this thinky. We both like that. I know the first couple games we had no idea what we're doing. Now we have a semi-idea. I don't know if we still have a great one, but great game, tons of replayability, and really there's a lot more game in here than most of the other games we'll probably go around the list in terms of weight.
All right, so my number 6 is a game that Matthias made me trade out. Can you believe that? It's number 6 on my list, but he made me trade it out.
Twice.
Third
time in our
This
collection.
is the third time that it has made it back, and this time it's not leaving. So I can never say its name right, so please, I apologize in advance. Acrotiri, and it is a really cool pick-up and delivery game. You're building out a map. There are cubes that you're trying to collect to fulfill different things, and you're delivering them essentially and trying to build up I don't even know what they're called. Are they pyramids? Anyways, you are placing pyramids to claim an island, and you're trying to meet goal cards while doing other tactics and moving your boat around.
My number 5 has already been covered. Biblios. I think everything that's been said holds true. Love the bidding mechanisms. I love how you can play 2 to 4. We've played it 2 to 3, and I think it works just as well. Great, buttery smooth kind of game. I have really nothing bad to say about this at all.
And unbelievably easy to teach.
Yes.
We taught it to my parents.
And it's interactive. Like that. This is one of the more interactive games where the more you play it is better, because I'm trying to think about, okay, what cards do I know she likes to collect? No, she's bidding at this certain style. What does she normally do here? So sometimes you try to throw me off, but I think for the most part I have you figured out, at least with that.
All right. I need to dive into your pile if my arms aren't long enough.
Sure.
Can you get me the second from the bottom?
This one?
Here we go. Sunset Over Water. Not only do I love the artwork, everything Matthias said is right. I love the goal cards. Also, there's a cool little extra mechanic where if you're the last player to do something in a round, there's a bonus that maybe you can get. So if you're the second person to wake up, you have potential to get that if you can move in that direction or to that location. So, again, just a really solid little game. Mm-hmm. Love the artwork. Lots of thought went into it. Overall set collection.
Great flip and write game. Very accessible. Maybe the theme might be a little off-putting. I think I had to talk you into this based on the theme. You're not really a goblins and...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I love when he sold it to me by calling it map making rather than goblins and whatever, and having monsters in the deck. So for me, you have to convince me a little. If you look behind us, you'll see that there's too many bones and cloud spire. So obviously he does win out on theme, but yes, I love the map making
And
aspect.
it's cool. It has an A-B side, so there's the one side has more of like a hole in the middle than the other. And as well, there's these monster cards, so if we draw a monster card, she gets to draw on mine, I get to draw on hers, or if you're playing with more than 2 people, you just kind of pass to the left. So you can kind of mess with somebody as well, so there's a little bit of interactivity built in there.
So, my number 4 is Toji. This one has been in our collection for years, I want to say.
It took us a while to get it to the table.
It took us for a while to get it to the table, but that was only because I was picky.
Art style.
Art style, I'm not going to lie. But it's a really cool worker placement, resource collection kind of game. All kinds of goals as you go around. There are different mechanisms where you can't go in certain places, certain rounds. So just overall, for a deck of cards of some cardboard chits and some meeples, also very transportable. We've taken this game on a trip. You literally just open it up, throw it in we take a shoebox to travel with, throw as many games in as we can, and away we go. This is one that has made it on couple times on camping trips, etc.
Yeah, it's a great game. This recently had an expansion that came out at least in North America, and I don't know if it needs it. I think the game is like awesome just how it is.
Yeah,
so
we've
avoided the expansion just because we feel there's a complete game in that box. The expansion may be awesome for all I know, but great game. Okay, my number 3. I'm going into your pile.
Uh-oh. Oh!
Burgle Bros. Awesome game. Great size box. I don't know how much more there is to say. There's the variable player powers. There's tension, which you don't always get in a lot of games. I've played this solo a number of times, just as well with a single character and 2 characters at once. They're online. There's a cool tool that you can go to and you can get like these variable maps. So if you've played like the maps that are within the base rulebook, you can just go and change it up. So I know Burgle Bros 2 is coming out. I think we might give that one a look, but great game.
All right. And my number 3 is a new one to our collection, but it is really adorable. And I know I went by pretending that we were measuring by volume for box, not height. So this is a really cute deck building game based on golf. And what you're doing is you are trying to meet the yardage on different holes by using clubs, equipment, crew. There's a pro shop you can buy from. And every card has an option of credit so you can go shopping at the pro shop, or yardage so that you can get your ball to the hole. So overall, really like it. Cute game. Easily approachable. Hard to do well at, I find. Sometimes not doing the hole would actually be better than the score I managed to get. Getting my ball down the green. But overall, really cute game. Love the gameplay.
Yeah, I was on the fence about putting that one on my list.
Ooh, it's not there?
It's not. Well, I didn't know if it would fit within the small box criteria as well. Targi. So everything we said there, just great game, awesome worker placement game. One of the better worker placement games in my estimation, just because it's very simple rule set, but you always feel like you're doing something, you're moving along, and it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's like it's a good half hour, but it doesn't need to be more than that. It's very rarely shorter than that either. So great game, highly recommend, and one of the best value games I say there. For $20, there's a full game in that.
It's patchwork. And I know there are a million polynomial games out there now, and a lot of them are really cool, lots of extra things going on in them. But I find if I want a polynomial game, I love this. It's classic, it's simple. You can literally teach it to anybody in 3 minutes, and every game's going to be different based on the way you set out those pieces and how you build your income engine.
My number 1, What She Said. So this was my one. We've played this like over 70 times. I think you, even though it's my number 1, you might enjoy it more than mine. So I'm trying to figure out what your number 1 must be. But no, it's a great game. Tons of replayability in this. Now they're coming up with they have the Christmas version. They're doing a Halloween version.
They have an American
version. They'll probably have all the different country versions. So I don't know if they play any differently. So if you don't own a Patchwork, it's very easy now from a theme standpoint to just grab any one of them. But tons of play in the box. It's a great game. Plays differently every time, even with a very simple rule set. Yeah, love it.
Only thing I wish they had, plastic buttons instead of cardboard, but that's only because I like that kind of stuff. So my number one, and this was very difficult, I didn't know where to put it, but my number one for the game in a small box
Really?
is this. And it is new to our collection. I love to hate it sometimes because I cannot connect many
That's why I'm
types.
surprised it's your number one. You usually complain after you play that.
I do. But it is such an amazing game for thinking and piecing it together and what am I going to do with these tiles? It's the puzzle. It's a never-ending puzzle. You can sometimes, you have these 5 little tokens where you can build up in case you need to go over a pipe or around a pipe. And it's that luck of the draw. What did you pull out of the bag? But then you're tying it with what is he doing? Because if he's shipping me a bunch of, red goods that look like batteries, well then I better have somewhere on my side to take in those red goods. So as much as it's not overly interactive, it's not like he's stealing my things and stuff like that. He's shipping goods to me, and if I want those points, I have to find a way to get those pieces in. So from a amount of play, from a enjoyment level, this game frustrates me like you wouldn't believe, but there's just so much in this box. So if we're going to talk about the top game in a small box, and this was our max size, as you can tell, it's our patchwork size box that we used as our guideline. This game has everything I love in a game and everything I love to hate in a game. The puzzle in this box is what got it to number one for me.
Yeah, no, I'd have to agree. The only thing I can think of off the top of my head that would be like crunchy in a smaller box that would be similar to this are like the PAX games. But those are usually, up to 3 and up to 4. So in terms of 2-player crunchiness, that's, not a war game or anything like that. I definitely agree. I also think maybe you're underplaying a little bit the interactivity, because if I see that you're shipping a lot, then I know on the other side I want to be receiving, and vice versa. If you're really receiving, then I'll take my time and build up my receiving too. I'm not going to send you a bunch of goods right away.
Right.
So even though you're not directly really competing for anything, you really are paying attention. Okay, where are they going? What might they get? And sometimes you want to be a little slower than your opponent because you get more cards and goods and whatnot too. You get those gear tiles.
Yeah, so we are going to update our small box games as we get more. But for our collection today, these are our top 10 games for each of us.